Okay. So you definitely want your, so this is an example of something you need a calculator for versus some of the things we did a couple days ago. I didn't want you guys to use a calculator. This one I want you to use a calculator. So it says give two angles that can work for theta, and I'm going to say and I want those two angles to be between 0 and 360. So I don't want us just to spin around one more time. So in order to find theta, do you guys remember how we would solve that? If I want to find the angle, if I know what it equals. Yep, so we're going to do the inverse sign, yep. So this is kind of the obvious angle. So this is the one that I think you would know how to do. Again, obviously, because we just talked about this last chapter. So we find out that would be like a 48-degree angle, because it's like 47.99. So 48 will go with. But they want two angles. And our calculator doesn't tell us about the second angle. So what we need to do is we need to figure out what other angle would give us this answer. So what I'm going to suggest we do is draw our all students take calculus thing. So the 48-degree angle would be in this quadrant. That would give us a positive sign value, because this is positive. So my question is, where would the other, what other quadrant would that work? Yeah.
Second one?
Yeah, so we're going to draw that in the second quadrant, a 48-degree angle. However, if I wanted to know what that angle actually was, the reference angle is 48 degrees. What I want to know is what would this angle be? Because that will give us the same answer.
180 minus 48?
Yep, so we're going to do 180 minus 48. So my other angle for this would be, what is that, 132?
Yeah.
So check that in your calculator. Check sine of 132. It should be 0.743. Yeah, right? So we found both versions. And it wouldn't be in the lower half because of the fact that obviously it wouldn't be positive there. And we'll do one on tangent too, just to make sure we got it.
Quick question. Why
Yeah.
two triangles?
Because they asked for two angles.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking for the second one. So the first one's the obvious one. This 48 is obvious, like that's the one that you know how to do before we talked today. But then the second one is maybe not as obvious because we kind of forget it could work in that quadrant as well. So again, they asked for two angles, not just one. So our next one, we're going to do the same thing. So maybe check and see if you can figure out which quadrant it would be in. And I think we'll do a tangent one just to practice that.
So that was just 180 minus the other one?
Not necessarily, no, because it depends which quadrant it's in. Because this is not going to be in the same quadrant this time.
Oh, it just goes to the quadrant of the side is.
Yeah. So here, cosine is positive. So I have to look where else, where else cosine is positive. So we're going to be in that fourth quadrant. And we're going to draw the same reference angle, that 36-degree angle. But again, when I want to figure out what that angle actually is, I have to spin all the way from the start. So how would I figure out what the purple part is? What would be all the way over here?
360.
360. And so I'm 360, or I'm 36 degrees short of 360. So my other angle would be what is that, 24?
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we move on to the next type, if you have some space somewhere on the bottom of the page, somewhere on the top, wherever you have space. I'd like to do one with tangent just to show you that as an option because we have enough time. So let me do. Okay, so I'm going to do one more here. I'm going to do tangent of theta is 3.487. So again, I want two answers for this. So I get a 74-degree angle. And then we want to find our other one. So here's my 74 degrees angle. So this one's going to be in the third quadrant, right? And again, a 74-degree angle. So how would I find that value?
180 plus.
Yeah, this time I'm going past 180, 74 degrees. So I'm going to do 180 plus 74. That makes sense? So being able to find that first angle should be easy. The second one a little bit more complicated, and it kind of uses what we used last time. Great. So moving along here. So the next one, they're talking about something called coterminal angles. And so the word terminal is kind of a sad word. Terminal, a lot of times we'll talk about that. You hear that word when someone has cancer, terminal cancer. That means they're going to pass away soon. They're going to die from that. So terminal, I think the word end. And there's probably obviously other things other than that, but apparently I went to the negative terminal. Sorry about that. So angles with the same endpoint. What? What?
We set this off.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. True that.
She makes a lot of, like, not dark jokes. She's
She's had a hard life. She really has. Like, I mean, she has lost a lot of people and pets and oh my gosh, and she's so like positive still, like, and she like. So sometimes she talks about it, she just sounds so nonchalant about death. Like, she's just like, then, then my brother died, and then my dad died.
Did her child, a dog, die with 14 puppies inside?
Yeah, her dog was pregnant.
Oh.
And they were trying to go to the vet to get it, like, to have it delivered, and the dog died.
And the puppies,
all died too. And I was like, seriously? I'm like, and that was after I already knew that her dad had passed away when she was young. Her brother passed away when he was really young. Like, she just had, like, but then she's still, like, the most positive human. And I'm like, and this is not on video, so. I just noticed. Mute that out.
That's soft now for
Just randomly get quiet for a little bit.
And the thing is, though, I don't even know she's so easy going. All right. So we want to know if these are coterminal angles, and that means, so like, basically what I'm saying by this, so let me give like an example of a coterminal angle. So I have a 30-degree angle here. What I would also say is a coterminal angle would be 390. Does that make sense? So I go past 360, 30 degrees. So if I said 390, technically that's the same angle as 300 or 30. Or I could go backwards and say like negative considered coterminal angles. Or I could keep spinning around and doing this and keep adding 360 again and again, so kind of like it could go on forever. And we're just checking to see if these are going to be coterminal. Would they look the same? Would they end in the same spot? So 36 degrees is here. So they're asking if negative 324 would be coterminal. So if I went back this way, I'm going to do 360 minus 36. And so yes, these would be like essentially the same angle. So I could tell you to find the sine of 36 or the sine of negative 324, which would sound ridiculous, but it's still the same angle we're talking about. Next one's kind of a goofy one. I don't know how I thought you would think this, but maybe I fool somebody, I don't know. So 123 is over here. And then 274, I don't know, what's that?
I tried saying you got no, and then no one heard me.
Like those, this is a no. Probably the negative ones are probably tougher to check and see. Our next one is 600, or 660. So we have our 60-degree angle here. And then also 780. So what I would probably do is I'd probably take a spin out of there. So when I say 780, I'm going to take off 360 and see if we get ourselves closer. And you get 420. We're still over. We're going to go down again. And you go down one more time, we're back to 60 again. So again, this would be yes. And then the last thing it's asking us to do is find a coterminal angle between 0 and 360. So in this case, this time they want us to get, like, so negative 30 would be here. So they want our angle now to be between 0 and 360. So I don't want to just keep spinning around. So this one's a negative, so yeah, I want to find, so basically what I can do is I can add 360 to that. So a positive 330 would be the same angle. Now these next two are ones where they spin around. So again, I would like to just take off a spin. So this would be a 260-degree angle. So I just took one spin off of it, and it would still end up at the same time. Like kind of like our clock, you could come here at 2:30 in the morning, and our clock would look exactly the same, even though it's done a bunch between them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, no, I had it at 0 at first too. Yeah.
You guys good over there?
We made the same mistake.
And then this one would just be 210. Okay. Alright. So the question is, do you guys want to start new notes for the next time, or should we just call it a day? We can start our new notes. What do you think? Alex, I'm a little worried because with you going out of town, I think we're pushing our tests back a little bit later, so just want to, are you okay with taking your test when you get back?
Yeah.
Okay. That was more what I was worried about, was just that I wanted you to have all this. So we'll, trying to think how many more sections. Let me look real quick. So we'll have, as long as we're here tomorrow, we'll have 2-4 and 2-5. So we'll finish all the notes. You'll be here for them if we do 2-4 tomorrow and then 2-5 Friday. So you'll be here Friday. And then we'll probably still review for 2 days and then test next Thursday. And then you're back, are you gone all week? Yeah. So we test Thursday, we start a new section. I have those new sections of notes for when you're back. Are you guys okay with just finishing up the homework now and having some time to work? Does that sound okay? And you guys just know, if you ever have other stuff to work on, other classes, feel free to bring it in here when we have the time. Part of it is I want to make sure Zach gets all the notes, but at the same time, I mean, we have time in this class, so we're going to finish the worksheet. Yes, you can. what's the rest of it then?